Life often carries the weight of expectations, relationships, and fears, and in our struggle to control them, we end up losing control of ourselves. There's a hard truth in this. We are the ones who burden ourselves with unnecessary weights. We hold on to external factors that we believe define us, such as approval, validation, and the constant search for meaning in things beyond our reach. But what if the key to true freedom lies not in the pursuit of these things, but in the simple act of letting go? By focusing on ourselves and releasing the need to cling to external forces, we discover the power of inner peace and autonomy. Stoic philosophy offers profound insights on how to live a more meaningful life, focusing on simplicity and self-empowerment. These principles not only reframe the way we approach life, but also challenge us to reclaim our autonomy and our peace of mind. Let's explore these Stoic lessons and how they can be applied to our modern lives. 1. Detach from the need to be loved. Imagine for a moment that your life is a work of art and you are the artist. The lines, colors, and forms you choose reflect your soul. But what happens if you start adjusting those choices to please the crowd? Will your masterpiece still be yours? The need to be loved by everyone is a burden that restricts us from living authentically. We live in a world that constantly seeks external validation, whether it's through social media likes, compliments, or admiration from others. We convince ourselves that these fleeting moments of approval are the markers of our worth. But are they truly? The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely pointed out that you have power over your mind, not outside events. This simple yet profound statement is a reminder that we cannot control the opinions of others, nor should we try to. Our worth should not be measured by how others perceive us, but by how we view and treat ourselves. When we let go of the need to seek approval, we open the door to true freedom. Consider the lives of historical figures like Socrates or Galileo, whose revolutionary ideas were met with rejection and scorn from their contemporaries. Even great minds who changed the course of history could not please everyone. Why then should we? The moment we realize that we cannot control the opinions of others, we are free to live our truth. This detachment doesn't mean becoming indifferent or isolating ourselves. On the contrary, it means understanding that our worth isn't tied to the approval of others. It means standing firm in our authenticity, as Franz Kafka did. Kafka, whose works were little known during his lifetime, continued to write passionately without seeking widespread admiration. After his death, his works gained recognition, showing that true value comes not from public validation, but from a commitment to one's craft and inner truth. Ask yourself, if you no longer needed the love or approval of others, what would you dare to do? Would you follow your passion without hesitation? Would you live on your own terms, free from fear of judgment? Most importantly, would you love yourself without needing anyone's permission? The path to true freedom requires courage. The courage to let go of the desire for external approval and to embrace your own worth. As Seneca reminds us, he who is brave is free. When you release the need to please others, you step into the freedom to live authentically, to fail with pride, and to embrace self-love. 2. Abandon the desire to know it all. In a world where information is just a click away, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant barrage of facts, opinions, and theories. We may feel that knowing everything will grant us control over our lives, but this constant search for answers only leads to mental exhaustion and anxiety. The Stoics remind us that true wisdom lies not in knowing everything, but in accepting that some things are beyond our control. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what is within our power, our thoughts, actions, and reactions to the world around us. The vastness of the universe and the complexities of life are beyond our grasp, and by constantly trying to understand them, we only burden ourselves. It's like a cup filled to the brim with water. If you try to pour more into it, it will overflow. Similarly, if you continually fill your mind with unnecessary information and concerns, there's no space left for peace and serenity. Consider this. The more we know, the more questions arise. Each answer seems to bring with it a flood of new inquiries, creating an endless cycle of seeking. Yet, the Stoics advise that we step away from this obsession with knowledge. Instead, we should focus on living well each day and prioritizing what truly matters. This doesn't mean abandoning learning, but rather becoming more selective about what we allow to occupy our minds. By letting go of the desire to know everything, we free up mental space to focus on personal growth, relationships, and the simple joys of life. We are reminded that the complexities of the world are not meant to be understood in their entirety, but experienced fully. So, instead of becoming consumed by the endless search for answers, ask yourself, is this pursuit truly serving me? Can I let go of the need to know it all and embrace the peace of uncertainty? This process requires patience and intellectual humility. It may feel uncomfortable at first to not have all the answers, but in time, you will find that peace comes from accepting the unknown. Life isn't a puzzle to be solved, it's a journey to be lived. Letting go of the desire to know everything is an act of courage. It frees us from unnecessary mental burdens and allows us to embrace the present moment with clarity and peace. 3. Own your experiences. Stop blaming others. In life, we often find ourselves blaming others for our circumstances. We blame our jobs, our relationships, or even society for our unhappiness or misfortune. But this habit of blaming others is disempowering. It strips us of control and places the responsibility for our lives outside ourselves. The truth is, no one else is responsible for our lives but us. Marcus Aurelius taught that pain arises not from external events, but from our interpretation of them. We have the power to change the meaning we assign to any situation. If we continue to blame others for our pain, we are giving them control over our emotional state. But when we take responsibility for our experiences, we reclaim our power. By recognizing that our perceptions and reactions are within our control, we can stop playing the victim and start living as the authors of our own stories. This doesn't mean that we should ignore injustices or avoid confronting difficult situations. It simply means that we need to stop giving others the power to dictate how we feel. When we stop blaming and start owning our experiences, we take back our power. We become active participants in our lives rather than passive observers. This shift in mindset is liberating. When you stop blaming, you begin to see opportunities for growth in every experience, no matter how challenging. You realize that you have the ability to respond with resilience, wisdom, and grace. The Stoics understood that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. By taking ownership of our experiences, we unlock the potential for personal growth and empowerment. 4th, let go of the fear of failure. Failure is often viewed as something to be avoided at all costs. We fear the judgment of others, the loss of success, and the potential embarrassment. But what if failure wasn't something to fear, but something to embrace? The Stoics believed that failure is an essential part of life and personal growth. In fact, they viewed failure as an opportunity for self-improvement. When we let go of the fear of failure, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with trying to be perfect. We give ourselves permission to take risks, to experiment, and to learn from our mistakes. Failure no longer becomes a threat, but a stepping stone on the path to success. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By fearing failure, we waste precious time and energy trying to avoid it. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, we should focus on what can go right and embrace each step of the journey. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Conclusion: the art of letting go. As we move through life, it's easy to become attached to external validation, the need for knowledge, and the desire to control our circumstances. But true freedom comes not from accumulating more, but from letting go of what no longer serves us. By focusing on ourselves and releasing the need for approval, knowledge, and control, we step into a life of inner peace and authenticity. Stoicism offers us a profound path toward this freedom. It teaches us to detach from the need to be loved, to abandon the desire to know everything, to own our experiences, and to embrace failure as part of the journey. Each of these lessons invites us to simplify our lives, to focus on what truly matters, and to find strength in letting go. In the end, the greatest gift we can give ourselves is the freedom to live authentically, free from the burden of unnecessary attachments. Let go, and you will discover the true meaning of life. It's not about what others think of you or what you can accumulate. It's about living fully, embracing every moment, and finding peace in the simplicity of being. Are you ready to let go and live the life you were meant to live?